The season's over, which sucks. Today is the first day of the off season, which means we got to take a little look back at what happened yesterday, but also look to the future because there's going to be a lot going on over the course of the next 6 months or so before they get back on the football field, see what they can do in 2026. But should have a good show. Try to get through our final thoughts from the final game and look forward. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds. This is the DNVR Broncos Podcast, presented by our good friends, as always. Starting with our friends over at Bet365, where if you want to go, you can go sign up, deposit $10, place bet for $5, get $200 in bonus bets. It's an awesome promotion they've got going. Time to get in. Probably just bet on the Patriots to lose. Use that money. I wasn't really sure if I was going to come in here like feeling good or feeling bad. I am still a little bit sad, is what I'm realizing early on. I want to be talking about the Super Bowl right now.
I feel totally different.
Oh,
I have very little sadness about the Broncos losing the game yesterday. I do have a lot more sadness about Bo Nix getting injured. Like that's where I'm like, I just keep thinking about what he would have looked like in that game, like what the conversation would have sounded like today if Bo Nix had advanced the Broncos to the Super Bowl. I don't necessarily like the thoughts I have about what the conversation would be if the Broncos were playing in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks with Jarrett Stidham.
I don't care about the conversations, though. The you can have your conversations. I just want wins. You know, I get Broncos would be big underdogs. They'd probably lose. They wouldn't be as big underdogs as they were in Super Bowl 32. Like we saw the look ahead lines, and that's just a fact. And they were able to pull that one off. It's football. You get a chance to go win the game. You can always go win the game. And they could have had that one yesterday. And that's what really kills me is that, again, like they're no longer in like the attacking, like go beat these guys. They're in the survive and advance phase. And especially when you're at home, like magic may have run out when you have to leave your home stadium. They could have survived that one. Like you were a block kick away from getting that to overtime. And at that point, all bets are off. And I think I took a little harder than you guys did yesterday.
Yeah, I think, after sleeping on, you're getting a good night's rest, I would say there are a couple different feelings. RK, I agree with you in terms of you feel bad for Bo because he could have made plays in that game. And especially when the weather starts to turn in the second half, that's where Bo's magic, I think, you would have really gotten a chance to see the Broncos. I still think it would have been a close game, but I think the Broncos win either 20-10 or 17-10 because of how well the defense was playing. And I think Bo, just with his feet and legs, would have accounted for just so much. Mm-hmm. I do feel really bad though for this team and these players because of the camaraderie. And we pointed it out throughout the entire season how close this team was and how tight knit. One of the things that you hate about the NFL is that these rosters change and contracts and situations come up. So I feel really bad for the players. I also feel bad for Sean because at the end of the day, I thought, this is where I thought he would elevate Stidham and the offense. And I think you're really one call away, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
From the Broncos really winning this game. I think they go up 10-0. It's going to be hard for New England to score.
I was thinking a different play call. Well, even go back you could go back to Bo too, because again, like if that's Bo just runs the play before they pick up the first down, there is no fourth down.
Yeah, and I also look. We're here for the Broncos. We cover the Broncos. We love the Broncos. I am pulling for the Seahawks to kill the Patriots. I mean, like how they did the Broncos in 2013.
It would be good for my mental health.
Yeah.
It would be good for my mental health because otherwise we're thinking you were inches away. You were a blocked field goal away from being the team that wins the Super Bowl. If the Seahawks just kill them, then you get to move on.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a lot of disdain for both franchises, the Seahawks and the Patriots. But if anyone else is like me and you want a reason to root for the Seahawks, I highly recommend to watch the Bob Does Sports episode where they play a scramble against Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and Kyle Allen. There's actually 2 installments of it. Watch both of them. You'll come away just thinking Sam Darnold's the coolest guy. So he's like chill and funny. And so I'm pulling for Sam Darnold because that's a hell of a redemption arc.
It is.
I do want to talk about the fourth down, though, because I think that's the lasting conversation from that game. And I kind of went to sleep / woke up with a different perspective on it. I think so. I don't know if Sean Payton knew the weather was going to change, but let's just live in a world in which he did. I think that there's a chance that he thought 14 points could win this game. A 14-0 lead could be all that we need to win it. I don't know. I'm speaking of Sean. I don't know if they can score 2 touchdowns against this defense today. They might be able to score a touchdown and a field goal. I don't think they can score 2 touchdowns. And he thought if we convert this and get in the end zone, we very well could have enough points to win this game. And in a weird way in which he was also wrong, because he could have had enough points to get to overtime if you make that, he was also right. The Denver Broncos were never even close to scoring a touchdown for the rest of the game. So if they had converted that, and, you know, how dare Sean think his team is going to execute a play and get it? If they convert that, if they get into the end zone, the Broncos are playing in the Super Bowl.
Can I push back on that?
Yes.
I agree with what you're saying. My pushback would be you're not guaranteed to score a touchdown even if you get the first down.
That's true. Yeah.
And the red zone offense has not looked great the last 5 to 6 weeks. So with that being said, even if they do convert it and they get another set of downs, you're not guaranteed to score the touchdown. So why not take the points is my question to you.
Totally. And I think that you can, that's a very fair and like understandable take. I think everyone can agree the play call is where things went wrong. Sean even admitted. What happened? Did the Broncos call timeout? Who called timeout?
So Broncos called timeout. They initially had a run play called. They wanted the shotgun duo run against their nickel front. And so they got up there. The clock was really short because they took some time to make the decision, which I think is the right move. That's a good use of a timeout to think through what you're going to do. And then they flipped to the play we saw, which is the play action.
I wonder if that was his best play, though. Like, if that was because that's not a gotta have it situation. You know, Sean's been dialing up in all the gotta have it situations, whether it was Philly this year, whether it was the New York Giants game, all these games he's come out. I don't think that was his best play, which is why save it. You know, if 4th and 1 AFC Championship game,
what do you
come with the best play?
Yeah. And maybe that had something to do with what they thought Stidham was the best at executing. I mean, the touchdown pass was on a similar yet different play.
Yep.
I would have loved an egregious pick play.
Yeah.
They throw the flag, just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
You know, I love that in those situations. 4th down, like, just cheat.
Yeah.
Make them throw the flag. And if they do, then it makes it a very easy decision for you to kick the field goal from 10 yards back. So again, I disagree with the play call. And I will say at the time, I was saying, take the points. But looking back on it, I'm like, the Broncos get in the end zone on that drive and they have enough points to go to the Super Bowl.
You bring up something really important for people who haven't watched the All-22 when you say just make the refs call it.
Yeah.
The Patriots defenders, secondary defenders, did illegal contact the entire game. The entire game. And they were like, once you guys start calling it, then maybe we'll. Bro, little Jordan Humphrey was running crossing routes, and the safety was coming and shoving him at 6 or 7 yards. But they were like, we'll see if they call it.
They threw 1 flag on the Patriots in that game for 5 yards. They threw 2 flags on the Broncos, but one of them was a penalty that doesn't have any yards. So the Broncos have 2 flags for 5 yards.
Because they took the fumble instead of the intentional grounding.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Or no, they must have picked that one up.
It was the illegal touching, which was just an automatic loss of down, no yards, on a RJ Harvey on the sidelines. So the refs dared, or the Patriots dared them to throw a flag. They just wouldn't do it. I would have loved just Go pick someone. And you could have picked someone and thrown it to the end zone and gotten those 14 points that you needed to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I still stand where I stood. I like the call at the time. Not the play call, but the decision at the time. Because again, like your defense is just playing so well. I think it makes sense to do that. Like I think again, when they kicked the ball off to the Patriots yesterday, one drive started at 31, the other started at the 33. So you say on average they start at the 32 if you have to kick it off after the field goal. Instead, you don't pick it up, you give it to them at the 14. That 18-yard difference is a big game. By making that decision, ideally you go get the points. But even if you don't get the points, you're kind of setting the tone for what that game is. Like it's a field position game where now the next drive for the Patriots, yes, they'd love to go get points, but the thought is, can we flip this field somehow? Like, and because of that, it kind of shifts into a style of game that I think fits the Broncos better. Again, that's why the analytics back it up because you push them way back there. And so odds are you're getting the ball back on your next drive, needing about 20 yards to get into field goal range, which is a good situation.
You see what the ESPN guy who was following Sean in the Broncos last week or so?
Oh,
so he watched the Bears-Packers game, or Bears-Rams game, and Ben Johnson doesn't go for any of the field goals, and Sean's like, got to take the points here. Got to take the points here. And like, what's up with all of these people not taking the points in these playoff games? And then the situation now comes to him, and
you're right there.
He doesn't take the points.
And like, I've got a backup quarterback. If I can get this to 14, we've got a shot. And like,
even
if you get it to 10, it's over.
Even NFL coaches are armchair quarterbacks.
Because
it's a lot easier said than done.
What happens 2 plays later is the Mac Hollins catch for 20 yards. And so again, like that gets him out to flip it, but again, it plays out differently if you have to kick off to the other team. Like who knows what they call, whether they go to those same plays. But if they do hit that 20-yarder right there, then all of a sudden they're already getting that field goal right back.
Maybe Josh McDaniels doesn't go for that though. I don't think possible. Maybe he doesn't do that because now he's thinking, all right, damn, we're down 10-0. I think it also gives Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper, like their ears are pinned back. Like we know these guys can't run the ball. They cannot move the ball.
But when they're sitting at their own 14, you get to do that. You get to sit back there and know that they've got all that work to do. You got them pushed up against the crowd. Like I think for all the people saying the defense played great yesterday.
Let me put you in the Josh McDaniels camp.
Yep.
Okay, you're down 7-0 now.
Yep.
How do you think about play calling? And then as opposed down 10-0. And I don't know how much time was left. How do you start thinking as a play caller?
I don't think I worry too much about it at that point in the game. Like once you get into the late third quarter or maybe even middle third quarter, that's when you start saying, okay, we're going to need to score twice. And at some point that might mean there's a 4th and 3 where you go for it. But at that point in the game, I think you're still just in such a feeling out sort of phase. Like there's pressure for sure when it's 2 scores, but obviously there's even more pressure when it's 14. And I do like the idea of trying to get the ball into Drake May's hands more. I think that when the ball is in Drake May's hands, good things happen for the Broncos. I mean, just remember that first drive. He was awful.
He wasn't good ever.
No, he made one good throw.
He was good on with his feet.
He was. And so, again, like if you get up 10 points, maybe they do say like, okay, we've got to start throwing this around. If you get up 14, then maybe they
definitely
do. Again, I think if you're thinking rationally in that moment, you say, hey, we just need to play our game. It's a little bit fluky what the Broncos have been able to do to get down here. And over the course of time, we'll be able to kind of grind this out because we have our quarterback. We are the team that's at full strength. But in that moment, in the AFC Championship game, it's pretty easy to say, we've got to get after it right now. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah. Stick a dagger in him. I mean, I think that was really his thought. Just didn't work.
Right.
And last thing I want to say on this is like, there are 2 teams out there. You know, like the Patriots made the play to stop that 4th down. We don't like the call. We don't like the call because the Patriots did a great job defending it. The Patriots made the play that forced Jarrett Stidham to fumble the ball. Now, could he have just thrown it away earlier? Yes, but they had, there are guys in his face immediately that caused him to panic. Good job for them. And they blocked the field goal. Like, in the end, it comes down to who's going to make the really big plays in the game. I would argue they made almost all of them.
Yep. You had Mims.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got a lot more to talk about, and including turning the page and looking ahead at all the fun things that are going to be happening in the future. First, though, got to talk to some of our friends. Shout out to our friends over at Xfinity. Xfinity is awesome. We're actually broadcasting the show using Xfinity Internet, and it's a pretty good show. Shows what you need to know about Xfinity. So many awesome reasons to choose Xfinity, whether it's the smart Wi-Fi, which is kind of fun. So you have all your different devices on the Wi-Fi, and unlike traditional Wi-Fi, it will push the Wi-Fi, the more powerful internet, toward the devices that need more power from the internet. Really cool stuff like that is how Xfinity is innovating. And right now they have a 5-year price guarantee. So what if you could have that same reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi and also get to keep it at the same price for the next 5 years till I'm 34? Kind of crazy. That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Ent Credit Union. This year, Ent had an awesome promotion where for every interception that the Broncos had, they donated $1,000 to Children's Hospital Colorado, and they actually made it $6,000 if it was a pick six. So they were raising a whole bunch of money. We were helping raise a bunch of money because if you sign up for a Broncos checking account, you'll get your choice of a whole bunch of different cards. If you choose this one, the Pat Surtain card, they'll donate $50 to Children's Hospital Colorado. Those are all perks for other people, which is obviously awesome, but also there are perks for you if you sign up with Ent Credit Union. With their Broncos checking account, you get no surprise fees, game day discounts, the chance to win Broncos gear. You could even get tickets just by swiping your card. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco and support a great cause, head over to ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required, account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Ent will make the one-time donation on your behalf. The donation is not sourced. We're back into the DNVR Broncos podcast, presented by our friends at Bet365. They do so much for us. If you're making bets, go do it with them because they support us. We are going into the inside scoop where Benny's going to give us a breakdown. It's presented by Ent Credit Union. Bank like a Bronco. Go to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR and sign up for Broncos checking today. Ent Credit Union insured by NCUA. Membership required. APY, annual percentage yield. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Are we? We're looking back at yesterday, Benny. Is that the plan?
We are. We are. Because I think, look, we can talk about the 4th and 1, and yeah, that's really important. But Hank, you talked about it countless times during the watch along, and then also in the post game show of like how close this game really is. RK, you also pointed out just the screen game and how New England was playing. New England, you know, they did some unique things. When you look back at the All-22, they were like, all right, Stidham, they challenged him. Mm-hmm. He beats them over the top with Mims. And then every other first down, they played a different coverage, which you don't see. They played Tampa 2. They played Blitz 0. Then they went one hole. So they were like, all right, we're just going to confuse you on every look. You won't be able to get a beat on us. We don't know what Sean's calling. And there were plenty of opportunities right here where you got a Blitz 0 look. And Sean has everything dialed up the right way. This is where it's probably a little bit of jitters and also excitement, because one of the best things that you want one of the things that you want as a receiver is that you want a runner's ball. And right here you have cover 0. Sean's got the alley screen dialed up and it is blocked up the right way. Right here, these guys are all over here because of the Pat Bryant motion. And, you know, if Marvin Mims catches this with his speed and his home run ability, we are talking about a touchdown. So everybody's talking about Sean and his play calling, this and that. These are where
don't
things.
Call so many screens.
Yeah, don't call screens. This is where the players have to make the plays. Like, we can't just blame Sean for everything. So your players got to make plays right here. Go ahead.
You mentioned Mims, but the player who didn't make this play is Stidham.
Yeah. Okay. Quarterback's got him. Oh, no, I'm saying Marvin. Yeah. Marvin, you want a runner's ball right here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is basically, please toss it to me like this. They gave us the look that we wanted. When we think about, and the reason why I know this play works is because this is what DT would score on all the time. Those little tunnel screens, you get a Blitz 0 look, Payton would check into it. Sean Payton had this dialed up right here, and the Broncos just didn't execute. If you just put this ball right here on his body, this is game over. Look at this. All of this space right here. And this is why you love that blitz zero look. This is what we were talking about during the watch along is that, hey, you call your blitz zero beater to one side and then you have your other play to the other side. Because if you do guess right and, hey, they bring the house, they cannot block because all of the offensive linemen are out here. You got 2-on-2, and then you've got Mims with all this right here. So these are the little things that win Super Bowls right here. And, unfortunately, Broncos didn't make the play right here. Look at that. You're telling me Marvin Mims doesn't score right there?
He's gone.
Yep.
He's gone. He's gone with his home run ability.
I saw it during the game. Like, there's a little part of me that was like, hopefully there's a safety over there, so it's not as bad. No, that's
no one over there.
He's not getting touched.
Yep. And I think that it goes into it was the second post-game show, I think is where we talked about it, but it felt like there were a lot of things that were happening in the first half that kind of set up for the second half. Like Jarrett Stidham being the big one in my mind, where you see him miss a couple passes and you see him just smile and shake his head and know, like, okay, settle in. We just got to hit these passes. And specifically, there's like 3 of these early in the game where it's like, they're right there. And it felt like if the game played out the way that the first half kind of did, that you just hit those passes, they're all right there as he settles in. But instead the weather hits. And so you just don't get that opportunity to say, like, oh, we've got these guys in the secondary.
He was setting a lot up. But
Yep.
I mean, also, I guess, Bill Parcells, Sean's mentor, always says, you coach a game that is unfolding in front of you.
Right.
And right when that snow starts falling, you got to change the game
Right.
plan. So
You just can't throw anymore.
But these things right here, this is brutal when you watch the tape, and this is where Stidham will be kicking himself in terms of that. This is the touchdown right here. I thought it was a great design by Sean. I mean, look, everybody, Troutman's coming open, Cortland's open right here, and I thought he dialed this up. Similar play almost, a little bit on the 4th and 1, but getting Stidham on the move, and he delivers a dot right there in the end zone. And when this happened after the Marvin Mims, I was like, oh man, this could get really ugly. I mean, the momentum that we had when we were watching during the watch along, I bet it was incredible at Empower Field. But this is when I was like, okay, like Drake can't move the ball. It is about to, they might route these guys because,
Right.
Once you figure something like that out, it's game over. But, obviously the weather happens. But yeah, this is the Marvin Mims play right here. And you just love this. This is the play he also threw the pick on later on in the game. But Marvin beats Christian Gonzalez. And I think Sean, it's super unique for how much or how many times the Denver Broncos offense converted on like 3rd and 10 or 3rd
Right.
and 11. Like, you don't have great plays for 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Sean dialed up some really incredible things throughout the entire year, whether it was the flea flicker against the Chargers, whether it was Bo Nix last week against the Buffalo Bills, where they completed 3rd and 11. He throws a no-look dagger route to Cortland. I thought Sean did a really incredible job on these, long third downs throughout the entire season.
Yeah. I mean, and this is an example of, I think, where the Broncos could succeed is just deep passing. Because that's kind of where Jarrett Stidham's at his best, is down the field, get guys in stride. And the way the Patriots were defending him, you have opportunities like this to get past him because they're playing him like a conservative backup quarterback. Now, when you don't get anything else going, then the Patriots get to just start blitzing. And all of a sudden, you don't have time to be throwing those deep passes anymore. And when there's no other option for effective offense, when you can't run the ball, when the rest of the passing game just isn't really, the timing isn't there, it's a backup quarterback, they just didn't really have a counter. So you needed to just, they needed, I think, to find a couple more opportunities to throw these shot plays in early before the Patriots realized that's kind of where they thought they had a chance to live.
After this play, I think that opportunity
Was gone.
was
Did
gone.
it dry up, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they played too many mixes of coverages. The
Okay.
only way I think you could have got a beat on it is if you went no huddle, because you couldn't see what they were lining up in. Like
Sean's favorite.
every first down, it was Tampa 2, then it was cover 1, then it was blitz 0. Like only the elite quarterbacks would have been like, oh, I see what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough going no huddle with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Great play by Marvin Mims. I think we need to sign a petition for him to be involved early on in the season, because the last 2 weeks, obviously in the biggest games of the year, he was your most consistent receiver. He was your most explosive receiver, and they got to find a way. We can't wait to the last or to the end of the season to get him involved. And I believe the same thing happened last year, where he has all these 100-yard games towards the end of the season. It's like, hey, we should probably use him at the beginning of the season, so we don't have to wait to the last games of the season. I just thought, Sean was, I thought Sean, before the weather got bad, I thought he was really in his bag. This is the option play where Jarrett takes off. And I thought he just had the New England defense guessing a lot. He had them guessing a lot, and I thought this was really good. I thought later on in the game, you could have gone back to something like this just based off of the weather conditions. It's like, you see Stidham right here with the ball, but had New England guessing the entire time. Let's see what play I got here.
Scramble that set up the 4th and 1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here, where are your pressure beaters? Yep. This is one of these things. So, like, they saw Stidham beat him over the top, and they're like, all right, we're going to confuse him. So this is another blitz zero look. And the reason why I put this up here is where is our plan for pressure? Where is the plan for pressure? You got to help Jarrett out right here. Now, obviously, LJ is coming open.
Yep.
But when you have these blitz zero looks, when you can tell you have all the blitz zero looks because all of the DBs are planned.
It's a free runner.
Yeah.
Like, that's fast.
Someone's
There's
always
no
going to be free.
Yep.
And this is where, in Sean's offense, from what I remember from it, you don't have these things where you're like, hey. You identify the mic, you re-mic or whatever, and then, hey, we call something else. And we've seen this throughout the entire year. So what is Sean's plan for pressure? How do you help your quarterback out right here? Jarrett ends up running, and this guy makes an incredible play to not let Jarrett get the first down, because if he runs for the first down, if this is Bo Nix right here, like, this is another set of downs. And this leads to the 4th and 1, where obviously Broncos don't convert. But there were plenty of opportunities out here before the weather got bad where it's like, hey, man, like, who's hot? If you guys go back to, when I played with Payton, and it's something that I kept throughout the rest of my career, it's like, hey, if it's a blitz zero look and my guy is pressed, like, we started waving our hands. If you remember, we would all, as receivers, we'd wave our hands just to alert Payton, like, hey, I don't know if my guy's blitzing. Bam, and then you'd have a hot.
Yep.
This offense doesn't have these built-in hots, and that's something that you would want to see going forward.
Yeah, that play also. So Bo picks it up, of course, but also they spotted that a full yard back of the sticks. It should have been 4th and about 6 inches when you see the replay, but you can't review that. And so that's just another one of those little things where if that's 4th and 1 foot, then all of a sudden the odds go way up.
Quite literally game of inches. You actually said it early in the game. Like, this one is going to be a game of inches. And I mean, it came down to a football not being an inch higher when it was kicked.
Right.
We blame the 4th one, the 4th down call on Sean, but I'm going to go back because I am a former player. The players got to execute, and it's hard for Jarrett to make a throw like that. It's impossible. LJ is getting ready to come open right here. He is your delayed route. He's probably the 3rd option. This is your 1, and then you have Cortland coming over your 2, and then like, hey, LJ being your 3 right here. But it's going to be hard. Look at your O-line right here. And obviously, you can't make plays like that. They did not sell the run at all, and that becomes a tough point right there.
Can you go back to the previous frame?
Yeah.
This is already a bad look for this play. Like, it would be awesome when you get this 6-1 front, if you could, clap your hands and go into shotgun.
Yeah.
And give Stidham some time to get this ball away because they've got a million defensive linemen on the field.
They put goal line.
Yeah. What was that shift right before the snap to get everybody in tight to the A gaps?
Yeah, I mean, this was their...
I would have burned another timeout. Like, I don't like this look.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's where I wish, maybe they did, but wish you could have called 2 plays during the timeout and said, okay, if they come out in an anti... essentially sneak front, which is what they did. They're just like, we're not losing on a sneak here.
Yep.
Let's get into this.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate play, but I think, it's hard for Jarrett to make this play, and New England just had, there are going to be things that are open, but, it's going to be.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not going to be.
You can't make that throw.
Yeah, it's too hard to make that throw. So that's what we saw, and there was nothing to show from the second half because of how bad the weather was.
Right.
Look, I'm not going to give any flack to Sean or Jarrett because of how bad the weather was. I will give a little flack to Sean because the only play that New England succeeded on was the flea flicker, 2 over routes. Mm-hmm. He still had our receivers out there trying to run routes in the snow. You can't run dig routes anymore. It's like, hey, what are the crossers? What are the pick plays? Like drive. They're playing a lot of man.
Mesh.
Mesh. You want those types of plays. I don't want to call dagger when it's snowing outside.
Right.
No one can stop.
Right. It's tough, though, when you also can't run. And I think that's, again, last night, it's what I said. I think that second half from Sean, I thought, was a masterclass. Because when you're at a 3-point deficit and the snow comes, you lose. Like the team with the lead in that situation is the team that wins. Like it's so hard to go and get any points in those situations, and to look at how all those possessions played out, and to know to lean on the defense the way they did, and the punts that they were able to make, and the special teams plays back the other way, being able to send the pressure, getting them pinned back. And so eventually you have this little tug of war to where you get it down to where you get to start a possession at their 33-yard line. Again, a little bit fluky, but that's what happens when you punt a bunch. Maybe they should have started at the 45 with a better kick. But still, you're able to get a possession starting down there to where you get to run 3 plays to try to get a field goal off. And that, to me, is just beautiful, genius-level football.
I get what you're saying. He played.
Because remember, though, no run game and no pass game, and you're able to manufacture a way in the snow to get a field goal to tie the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think the terms masterclass and genius are just too strong.
Really?
For this. I think that Sean played the style of game very well in that sense of
what should he have done differently in that situation?
I would have gone
once they
but how they don't have
33.
but they don't have a run game and they don't have a pass game.
7-man protection and over route with
Just 2 routes.
With Cortland and Evan Ingram. Like you got to think about it like that. Like
we did.
How can we do that? I don't want my guys to run routes and try to run like curl routes and things like that. And then I would alerted plays like, okay, if we have press here, like we're taking a shot to court.
Yeah. I would have liked to see them run the play that I thought RJ Harvey ran better than any other all year, which was sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. They're just getting in the backfield so quickly. But yeah, I mean,
run around.
I thought that played so well to get into that situation. We got more to talk about. We're going to do it after this quick break. Shout out to our friends over at Bet365. Hopefully, I asked the Broncos covered the spread, so there's a chance you made some money. If you would have bet on Marvin Mims, you would have made some money. Jarrett Stidham was on pace for that over, but obviously the snow took that out of the picture. At halftime, he looked like he was going to get it easily. So again, hopefully you made some money yesterday, even though the Broncos weren't able to pull it off. And while football season is almost over, there's only one more game. There's obviously something that you can do at Bet365 any day of the week, whether it's the basketball, the hockey. They've got different promotions. It's almost baseball season, which I'm excited for. Take that over on the Rockies win total. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. Again, tough day yesterday. Maybe a Coors Light could make it a little bit better. I know we had a couple of Coors Lights down in the bar after doing the double post-game show, just to, take the edge off of what was a pretty tough day. But whenever you want to choose chill, whatever that may be, Coors Light is the place to go. So if you're out there going skiing, whether you just got home from work and just want to take the edge, whatever it may be, go grab yourself a Coors Light, because Coors Light is the place to go. Friends coming over, Super Bowl parties, choose Coors Light. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged for a smoother finish. Embrace a chill mindset. It's good to choose chill. Crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of times you choose to chill by choosing Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer. Back into the DNVR Broncos podcast presented by Bet365. Ryan, you think the Broncos need more playmakers?
Yeah. Man.
Okay, you
Guys,
should
got
be
us?
able to hear us now. Okay, start from the top.
All right.
Brian thinks that
He was on a
Broncos
roll.
need playmakers.
Okay, so what I was saying is essentially you watch the Broncos game, and maybe you don't have to think about yesterday's game because yesterday's game was so different than the way the NFC Championship played out just from the weather and all of that. But compare any Broncos game to any Seahawks or Rams game, and there is a level of offensive playmaking being made by non-quarterbacks that you just never saw in a Broncos game this year. And I know that if your team struggles on defense, it would be easy to say, like, we need a Pat Surtain. And so I'm kind of saying that by saying we need a JSN. But whether it's JSN or Puka Nacua or heck, even Cooper Kupp, who's still doing it at a really high level, you see these guys out there just making plays for their team that the Broncos don't have. And so there was a lot of hand wringing over drops. That's obviously, I think, rightful. Even Sean Payton brought it up finally at the end of in his press conference.
Did
he
he?
said it seems like that was a problem all year. So, you know, the Broncos, in my opinion, this offseason really have to find playmakers on offense that you can just trust in a situation to say, hey, we're giving it up to you and you're going to go get it for us. And I think that has to be the number one focus of the offseason is go get Bo his playmakers. And looking at the, I forget the guy, you might know his name, who put out all the cap space stuff for the Broncos.
I didn't see.
Okay. Well, Nick Court, that person.
I just do that stuff myself.
He essentially put out like all the options the Broncos have this year. And if they wanted to convert a bunch of salary into bonuses and all that, they could open like $60 million of cap space. And I kind of have a feeling that this will be the time Sean Payton says it's time to start pushing.
They've already done it.
They'll do it again.
Yeah, no, those 30 back-to-back $37 million a year cap hits for Zach Allen are going to sting, and then you got to pay him. I think it's $17 million the first year he's gone. Like they've been the most aggressive team in the NFL. They can always do more.
Yes, just think of it like a slinky. You just always push it forward.
Yes,
And if you always push it forward, then it just everything is happening in the future.
Yeah.
So I really think that this is the opportunity for the Broncos. I think you're going to see some big splash moves from the Broncos in this offseason to try and increase the playmaking on this offense.
Yeah, you definitely need that. I think it's something, ever since I joined you guys on this show is who is going to be that guy that moves the chain regardless of the coverage. And when you look at a JSN, obviously he's incredible. He led the league in receiving this year, but not only is it the playmakers, it also is the play caller. McVay and Clint Kubiak, who was here as the quarterback's coach, I believe, when we won the Super Bowl, and he was just getting his start, or starting at the earlier in his career. They know how to move guys around. Like the way they move Puka Nacua around to get him the ball is insane. Go ahead.
But do the Broncos have a guy that's worth doing that for? That you
That's
have
the
to
thing.
do that for?
Yep.
I think we saw a little bit. It was too early to tell because Pat Bryant is such a young player, but I think he could be that guy going forward.
Like the reason why running back scissors from JSN out of the backfield.
Yeah,
And then they've got Cooper Kupp out there drawing one defender, and I forget who it was on the other side drawing. Like the reason they do that is because you have to move them around, or otherwise they're going to focus all their attention. So it's like these decisions you have to make to try and force the defense into a tough decision. And I mean, Kubiak masterclass getting JSN completely wide open in the end zone.
Well, I don't know if we can. Is Marvin that guy for us? Because we saw that the last 2 weeks where you do move him around a tremendous amount and he makes all of the plays. Like, no, he's not a JSN. No, he is not a Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp obviously won the Triple Crown a couple years ago. But we saw Sean do it in these last 2 weeks where he just moved him around and the defense had a hard time stopping him, whether it was Buffalo or whether it was this New England defense. But, RK, to your point, I do believe that the Broncos do need to make a move, and you do need an explosive playmaker. Even Devontae Adams at the age of 32, 33, making people look crazy at the line of scrimmage. And, I've played with some really good receivers. I've played with Demarius and Wes Welker and Emmanuel Sanders. I've played with Odell. I've played with Michael Thomas. I played with Sterling Shepard. I've played with Evan Ingram early on. Like, I know what it looks like. And it didn't matter what the coverage was for those guys. And that's what you want to see out of this receiver room.
Right.
And who is those guys, it's Yak too. It's strong hands, but it's like, oh, no, I'm going to catch this 5-yard pass, and it's a first down. So
that's what's really missing.
Yeah.
Going back to Marvin, I think it's important to remember that Marvin was always going to be a project. You know, like, you draft him knowing that he's coming out of Oklahoma, that mostly playing that Lincoln Riley offense where you're not really running real routes. It's a lot of just like run fast and run to space downfield. Like
and far.
Right, which is why he was perfect. Well, the crazy thing is he got frustrated enough with that offense that he was thinking about transferring from Oklahoma to get out of that offense when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma to go to USC. So he stays at Oklahoma because Lincoln Riley leaves and he's sick of playing in that offense, which is interesting to think about, but it's because it's not like you don't run routes in that. And so he comes out as a 21-year-old who's only played football where it's run fast, get the ball in your hands, make something happen. And so in that way, I think, again, it was always the plan for him to take some time to develop, specifically on a lot of like just normal route, in-breaking routes, out-breaking routes, just finding different ways to get open. And I think what we've seen so far still is that, yeah, you want to run him downfield. He'll be productive if you just run him downfield. You want to get him the ball underneath, screen passes, let him work. He'll be productive doing that. We don't have a whole lot of evidence of him doing other things. I think we saw like a couple weeks ago, there was like a drag route across the middle where he catches it and runs. You're like, okay, that is new.
Yeah.
That is new. I think this is the big offseason for him. Because again, like going into year 4, that's when you really want to see your project receiver show that he's not just the down the field and not just underneath guy, that you can branch that together. And if he can do that, then I think he could be a Pro Bowl type receiver because he's clearly explosive enough. And those are the types of guys who can give you high volume production, but you just, again, and I think that that's kind of the case for a lot of these guys, right? Because you throw Troy Franklin in that same box. You draft, I think he's still the youngest player on your football team. Jeez. A year after he's drafted. And again, it's the same thing, that Oregon offense where there's a lot of screens. They ran him deep. Some crossers, a little more developed probably than Marvin. But like bit of a project receiver. And you go to like what's Sean McVay working with? Well, you have Puka Nacua.
Devontae
young
Adams.
Right. Puka Nacua, young guy, good route runner and stuff though. Like kind of he has the things that a lot of things take time to develop. The reason he falls is because he doesn't have the traits of a Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims. And then you have Devontae Adams, and that's not a guy you have to worry about that. And so I think they just
where's
took
the development then? So where is the development from this coaching staff? Because Puka Nacua is a 5th round pick.
Right.
Now the best receiver, top 5 receiver in the league. So where's our development? And then also, this is where you come to me, where I go back to Sean. It's like, I am going to if you believe in your guys in that room so much, like a McVay is really convinced that Puka can be that guy,
right?
And then you watch him develop into this. So that's because of the way things are also designed for him,
right? And I think
with
we
Puka,
have
too many good receivers, and not one great receiver.
Yep.
And with Puka, I think he didn't develop. He didn't need to develop. Like he came into the NFL as a 1,486-yard receiver, and that's because people
he had 1,400
as a rookie.
What?
Yeah. And then 990 last year because he got hurt and missed time. He didn't need to develop. Like he came in, he was just so sharp as a route runner. Oh yeah, you know all about Puka, BYU guy, Dion. But geez, those hands were underrated. The route running's underrated.
Damn it, let's
let's
do it.
He did with Pat Bryant. He went with the Pat Bryant route. You didn't say, okay, we got the speed young guy who's has this high ceiling. Instead, he's more the Puka Nacua route. He's the hands. He's the smooth. He's the route running.
Pat Bryant, if he can stay healthy, man, that's going to be your guy. But at the end of the day, I'm with RK. Like, I don't. To me, as a viewer of this next year, I don't want to go into the season like, okay, we're gonna receiver by committee. No, I want to find somebody who's going to catch 150 balls next year.
But the
I want
tough
to
part
see
is the tough part is how you go about that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm about to ruffle the feathers.
I think so.
I'm about to ruffle the feathers. No one should be comfortable in the receiver room.
Okay.
Because
did you trade some of this young talent for a proven guy?
Potentially.
On a struggling team?
Potentially. But yeah, like you usually won't see like the player for player trades. Like you'd probably trade one of these guys, get some picks, and then make a separate move. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that next. We're going to talk about what this offseason could look like. First of all, just kind of like the structure, the decisions that will have to be made, and then where they should go with some of those real quick. First, though, got to give a shout out to some of our friends. Shout out to our friends over at Toyota, especially when it snows like this. Having a Toyota looks so nice. You see the 4Runners just driving around out there. Man, that was just built for this situation. You notice that you can always tell, especially, so Montana, everybody's confident driving in the snow. Down here, it's about 50-50. And the people who are confident driving in the snow, I swear, skew more toward Toyota. Certainly, like, because you never see like a nervous driver on those roads driving in a Toyota. Keep an eye out, because it's been 2 days we've been driving in this, and I swear it's true. Toyota's built for this. They're great for off-roading, hauling, going up to the mountains, whatever it may be. They've got all sorts of options. They also have 16 different hybrid vehicles you can choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East, Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West, and Lakewood. Toyota, official vehicle of DNVR and the official automotive partner of the NFL. Let's go places. Also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Benihana. Benihana is an awesome place. You know, if you like good food, Benihana is the spot for you. If you like to have a show, Benihana is a place for you. And if you really like both those two things, they put them together and do it better than anybody else. They've got an awesome happy hour called the $3, $6, $9 happy hour. So they've got a bunch of different deals starting at, of course, just $3. It includes specialty rolls, cocktails, premium bites. It's available Monday to Friday in Denver and Broomfield from 3 to 6. The hibachi grill is obviously what it's best known for. The show happens right in front of you. They cook it with the shrimp toss, onion volcano, beating heart fried rice. And they've got specials for Valentine's Day that'll run from February 9th through the 16th. So now's the time to get over there. Make your reservations. Find out more information by going to benihana.com. Back into the DNVR Broncos podcast presented by Bet365, where you can deposit $10, place a $5 bet, get $200 in bonus bets. We want to talk about this offseason, just kind of what it's going to look like. We're going to start with the structure and just kind of talk through all the different steps that we're going to be going through. And it's a good reminder. We're going to be here all offseason, every day, 5 days a week, talking through all this, because there is a lot to talk about. And I think this might be the toughest one yet, just because of the decisions you have to make. Yeah,
well, and I wanted to talk about this today too, because we're in a whole different world than we've ever been on this podcast.
Right.
Like the structure of the offseason means something totally different than it's ever meant to us, because the Broncos are now squarely in a Super Bowl window and are trying to put the finishing touches on a roster that gets them over the top.
Right.
So it just, to me, kind of reshapes the way that we look at the offseason, rather than like, all right, who are we drafting with the 5th to 10th overall pick?
Yes, very different. It's not just a draft-based offseason. As you said, we don't want development guys anymore. Want good players who can contribute right now. All right, so as of right now, a couple things are going on. First one, of course, is the coaches. Coaches coming and going. In the next couple of days, we'll probably figure out what's going to happen with Vance Joseph. Seems like the Cardinals are probably not looking his direction, which was the most likely landing spot.
I think they're still looking his direction, but it seems like maybe he's not the belle of the ball that he seemed like he was at one point.
Right. So I wouldn't be surprised if he or Davis Webb, not Davis Mills, is hired as a head coach. That probably comes this week.
You think Davis Webb will get a head coach? I know he's interviewing with the Raiders and
the Bills today.
Bills today,
which is interesting.
Wow. Our guy Jimmy Palmtrees is really pushing.
I know
Bills.
It's interesting. I mean, it sounds crazy, but
that'd be a huge mistake.
But who did it? I mean, who's the last guy? Oh, Andy Reid. He's never called plays. He's only a quarterback's coach, and he turns out to be Andy Reid. So if you like the guy,
him and Josh are really good friends, right?
Which Josh?
Josh Allen.
I think they have.
I don't know.
I don't know if really good friends is the.
Friends is interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I heard they were really good friends. He went to his wedding. I just think that's a tough dynamic of like hiring a friend and like, hey, now I have to coach you.
And like how
how am
holding him accountable? They're within like 8 years, 6 to 8 years in age.
Yeah. It would be a little bit strange in that way.
Clint Kubiak gets the Raiders job after what he just did yesterday.
Yeah,
and Brady being there to see it.
If he wants it, I don't know who's dumb enough to take that job. And which is not what I've always felt, but like there's no path to winning there.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who
If
says
anyone should know to not take the Raiders job, it's a Kubiak.
Right. Because the thing is, like, you look at it initially and say, okay, you've got a good running back, you've got a great tight end.
You've
got
you have a good running back.
I mean, what, there's like two guys. No, I think it's like 6 guys this year with multiple 50-yard touchdowns. Like, there's enough there. It's just they didn't get the help. Like, the yards after contact, he's top 3 in the NFL. He's a good running back. He might not be a great running back, but he's a good running back. You have Brock Bowers. He's a great tight end. And you have the most cap space in the NFL. So you can go sign the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. You get to go just buy the 5 highest paid linemen if you want. Other than the fact that the owner isn't willing to spend any money. And so it doesn't matter how much cap space you have because they don't have the cash to actually spend that. And because of that, you're just stuck.
Poverty franchise.
Yep, poverty franchise. Okay, so head coaches you'll know this week. Broncos will make changes to their own staff too. Like Sean Payton's going to make a couple moves, does every year, swap out a couple guys for new guys. And that'll all come following, obviously, Davis Webb could take an offensive coordinator job if he thinks the reason he can't get a head coaching job is because he's just a quarterback's coach. That would also happen in the next couple of weeks.
I'd love to see him call plays.
Yeah, you'd be curious because you just have no idea.
Broncos?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Just Sean is such a master motivator, and he's put together an incredible culture and roster, and he is an incredible CEO, and he's obviously laid out the vision. But what if you just need a revamp in terms of look at Clint and all of the incredible creative things that he did. Look at McVay, look at Kyle Shanahan, look at LaFleur, look at Ben Johnson. It's that old school West Coast with a little bit of the new school. Maybe Davis, just being a former player, maybe that brings just a little bit more dynamicness to the offense with Bo. Like
Maybe.
Clint, who knew that he was ready for this opportunity, but what he just did with Sam Darnold, I thought that was incredible. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Shula yesterday, and he was ready for everything.
Yeah.
They're about You have
it's a
Sean
moot
Payton.
point. He's never giving up play calling.
No, for sure, but I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Also, right now, extensions. My nemesis, TR Tart, just signed a 3-year deal with the Chargers. But those are the sorts of things that could happen. And those extensions can obviously happen all the way up to the start of free agency. March 9th is when the negotiations begin. And the Broncos have big decisions to make. Alex Singleton, Justin Strnad, both unrestricted free agents. I don't know what you do at linebacker. Dre Greenlaw, you save $9 million if you move on from him. Do you actually think he's going to be on the field? That room, who knows what happens?
That is really that's a whole episode on that room.
Oh, multiple episodes on that room. John Franklin Myers, unrestricted free agent. You don't have this many sacks without him, but if you want a playmaker, you can't be giving him $15 million a year and go get a playmaker. So are you willing to sacrifice? J.K. Dobbins, obviously a tough decision. P.J. Locke, who provided good depth down the stretch. Lil Jordan Humphrey, some other names in there. Also, the restricted free agents is usually something you can just totally ignore because, yes, whatever, they'll be back. That is not the case this year. Jaquan McMillan is the star of the group. And the way it works is, so you can negotiate an extension, which if you hadn't spent a first-round pick on a nickel last year, I would say, yep, you just lock him up for a few years and it's easy. With that guy sitting on the bench behind him, I don't know what that means. With Riley Moss doing what he's doing, by the way, he's contract extension eligible this offseason. You don't have to make a decision, but that's kind of looming.
No decision.
Right. But we've also thought he could be pretty good as a nickel as well. Do you just say, hey, if that doesn't work out, we move on from Jaquan. We have 2 guys to potentially fill that corner. There are weird things that could happen. But back to the contract part for Jaquan. You can extend him or you can tender him. So the way the tender works is there's the right of first refusal. You say, here's $3.4 million. You can sign it if you want. You have a couple months to sign it. You can negotiate with whatever. If you make a deal with those guys, we can just say, nope, we'll take that deal and you're back with us. Right of first refusal. You do the second round tender, which means same thing, but the other team, if they sign him, owes you a second round pick. That's $5.6 million. A first round tender, 7.8. So odds are
no one's giving you a second round pick for Jake.
I don't think so. And so you probably go with that 5.6.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And honestly, if they did,
God
you
bless
won
him.
the deal.
Did you?
Yes.
How many nickels are better than Jaquan?
It's not even that though.
It's
How
just
many nickels are
positional
worth a
value?
second-round pick?
I mean, one was worth a first-round pick last year. Jahdae Barron.
Was he?
I mean, I said no at the time, but the market is the market. Brian Branch was the year before that, and who's the better player now? But then you also have things like Palcho. Do you give him the right of first refusal? You probably don't give him $3.4 million. He's a backup guard. That means he's out there negotiating with whoever he wants to negotiate with. He probably finds himself a starting spot.
You're not getting him if you don't do that.
Yeah, but that's expensive for a backup. You also have...
What would you want to pay for the backup?
I don't know.
I think 3.4 is
You could do it.
a fair
Okay.
rate.
Nate Adkins, same boat.
That-
3.4?
That no.
But that means he's out there negotiating.
He's gone.
Okay. Jaleel, another one of those guys. I think he's probably gone, right?
Yep.
So some interesting things happening with restricted free agents that could happen now. Those will happen before free agency, though.
There is a world where Nate Atkins has like the Sam Ellinger revelation, which is just like, I'm better off with Sean Payton.
It is possible. It is possible.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess everything we've heard about like teams really like Nate Adkins has come from Sean Payton in the past. So like as much as like we all watch and say like, okay, you're lucky to have like a true blocker. It's a nice thing to have. It's respected around the league. Or I guess no, Joe Lombardi said the same thing where it's like you talk to people around the league and they're just like, yeah, you're lucky you got Nate. That was training camp. Franchise tag probably doesn't come into play. That would be February 17th.
Because franchising JFM would be way too expensive.
Right. You could probably just bring him back for less. Again, free agency, March 9th. We'll figure out how to go about running back, how to go about linebacker.
Dang, we're going to get some sick new players on my birthday.
Oh, nice.
March 9th is your birthday?
That's good to know. Then March 16th is when they have some clauses in guys' contracts. Jonathan Cooper's salary guarantees that day. $12 million. He's worth more than $12 million, but with that edge room, do you want to see some sort of shift? I mean, Q looks good. Jonah looks good.
Ooh.
I mean, you could trade Jonathan Cooper because right now, otherwise
I'm
you're
running
locked
it
in.
back. I'm running it back with.
I think
with
I am
him.
too.
Yeah.
But again, it's
Led the league in sacks 2 years in a row. Not him, but
right.
your rush group.
Baldy's not running it back though. After what we heard from him on Wednesday,
But he performed.
He did.
Baldy called him out and he performed yesterday.
You also have small portions of Dre Greenlaw's salary guarantee March 16th. So if you're cutting him, saving the $9 million, you'd do it before that.
Yeah, I try to renegotiate that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You didn't play
Greenlaw.
enough games. That's one of the most, that's one of the unfortunate things. You want him to be out there and be healthy, but you could use that $9 million somewhere else.
Right. And if you wind up in a situation like not having J.K. Dobbins sucks. That's a thing that happens when J.K. Dobbins is your running back, just based on history. It's same case with Dre potentially. Also, a small portion of Ben Power's salary becomes guaranteed that day.
Run it back.
Run it back?
For sure.
Okay. League meetings, March 29th. Tush push. We'll find out about that. Second one a couple months later.
From a Broncos perspective, let me just say, I think it's really soft to outlaw the tush push.
It is.
From a Broncos perspective, it would be a good thing.
Yep.
If it was banned. We don't do it well.
Yep.
We don't do it at all. And we also don't defend it well.
Yep.
So, you know what? Go ahead.
Wow.
Twist my arm.
April 20th, you get the off-season program. Guys will be back. We'll get to go hear
April
from
20th?
them. Yep. That'll be the next time we
Always
get to
on
go.
420.
Hear that. Wow, that's going to be a party out there. April 22nd, that's the deadline for restricted free agents. So that's when Jaquan, Jaleel, all those guys will come to a conclusion. And then the draft right after, the 23rd.
April 23rd?
Yep.
Nice.
Rookie mini camp, early May. And then no franchise tag to worry about. So that's it till July. There's some weird stuff in there.
Exciting.
I'm excited. I think the Broncos are going to make noise in free agency. I think they're going to trade up in the draft. And I think there might be one crazy splash move, like an acquisition of a big wide receiver.
Just don't go the route of the Washington Commanders. Don't be like, hey, we're in our Super Bowl window. We got to win it. And you signed Bobby Wagner. Don't get me wrong. I love Von.
Yeah.
But like,
We're past that point.
Yeah, you sign some crazy older guys.
Right.
And
Go
it
get
doesn't
Devin
work
Lloyd
out.
instead.
Yeah, get some young players. Yeah.
Okay. One more question before we hit super chats. So your three linebackers, Greenlaw, Sternad, Singleton, two free agents. Greenlaw, you could save a lot of money if you move on. How many of those guys are back next year?
2.
Oh.
He said Greenlaw.
Sternad, Singleton.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Two?
I would say Singleton and Sternad.
Okay. I take the under.
You're taking the under?
I'll take one
of them?
Yep.
I'll say
Tough to say who.
Greenlaw Singleton.
Okay. I'll say just Sternad. No, I'll say just No, I'll say one of them. There's some super chats coming in from Hayden. Need accountability for another lineman giving a defender an easy chance at a field goal block. My first playoff game. This is going to hurt for a long time. Yep, we're all just in misery.
Didn't the guy just jump really high?
He did jump. Yes, punch him in the gut if he jumps. That's get those arms down. S. Lils. I feel better. The O-line is. Oh, I feel like the O-line is overrated. Bo Nix made them look better than what they are. I know the numbers say they're good, but numbers lie sometimes.
But that's a good thing because you have Bo Nix.
Yeah, and get like, I think that if you were to go through and say like these are the 4 best offensive lines, they wouldn't be as good as you think they are. And I think that's why the Broncos are right up there with pretty much any group.
Both positions are dependent on each other.
Yeah.
Quarterback depends on the offensive line. The offensive line depends on the quarterback.
And so you don't give up any sacks. And then, again, I don't think it's a coincidence that the run game was really good and then J.K. Dobbins got hurt and it was bad. Like, I think that has more to do with the running backs than the guys can't block.
I believe that as well.
Neem Dog, we needed 2015 Bennie Fowler out there yesterday.
Nope, you didn't. I'd have been out there blocking in that.
You got some little Jordan vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you wouldn't have had gloves on that catch and you might have made it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Could you have made that catch if you were the little Jordan?
Of course, I'm not going to say
There we
no.
go. There we go. Neem Dog. The Sean Payton hate is crazy. Not his best game for sure, but the fact that we even had a chance to win is a testament to his good coaching. Go Broncos. That's where I'm at.
Go Broncos.
Broncos, I'm not going to say the other part. Hall, Pickens, and Shaheed trade for tight end and draft tight end first. Yeah, I mean, Adam Troutman's a free agent. Evan Ingram, though, you save like $6 million if you get off the contract. $6 million tight end isn't that much. Like, it's a pretty good deal, and it's because of the other guarantees in his contract. You probably don't move on from Evan Ingram.
I don't think so either.
No. But I don't know what you do around him.
Yeah, it's in a tough.
What a weird outcome. Couldn't have been more different than what we expected.
Right. Broncos, and then whatever that is after. Too many drops to deny both Pickens and Shaheed.
Where's the Pickens thing coming from?
I mean, they traded him. You could have traded. I don't want George Pickens. He's a free agent. I don't want George Pickens. Don't let him touch my Broncos.
He's a freaking nature.
I think
though.
I do want George Pickens.
No. I mean, you do. That's totally your type of guy. But no, don't let him in that locker room.
I think Sean could handle his personality.
Did he have any issues in the Cowboys locker room this year?
I'm sure.
I guarantee
guarantee
plays where people thought that he was kind of lackadaisical, but I think Sean could handle his personality though.
Yeah, he'd probably throw him 170 footballs.
Nope. Street side nomad on 3. Everyone say the position
you want in the first round.
POS. It could, you want in the first round. I was like, no, I want a good dude.
Yeah, who's the worst character in the draft?
Yeah.
On 3?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Lineman.
Receiver.
You didn't do it.
No.
God damn.
Who do you want in the first round?
I haven't looked at anybody. I mean, if I had to, I'd go tight end.
I like the idea, you go draft a tackle, development, play him at guard for year, let him compete with Palcho for Penn Powers spot, trade Powers. But, I mean, that was what I thought before the season. Haven't thought about it since.
But Bo might be showing that you don't need that.
I don't care. Okay, I want a good line.
Oh, you're going to draft another guy who might not play in his first year?
You're a good team. That happens sometimes. That could be a good investment. If Palcho's better than play Palcho, sure, draft him, say he's going to be our left guard this year. But if Palcho beats him out, Palcho beats him out. Okay, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with Zach, talk more. He's at the open locker room today. He'll have some reports. We'll hear what everybody had to say, and we'll talk to you guys then.
God bless Bo Nix.
We all silly like the mayor.